This is interesting. I had to replace the wiper switch, so I put the new one in. But this switch needs to be grounded, and it grounds to this thing, to the panel. But this panel doesn't ground to anything. This one is grounded to chassis, and it does make a bit of a ground contact when I put it in. It touches, but that's not good enough. So it makes me think that it must have had a ground strap from factory, I'm guessing. So I went ahead and I ran a strap right here. That is chassis ground. These wipers weren't working right. The switch was bad, but it still wasn't quite working right, and I think I know this wasn't grounded at all, so hopefully that solves the problem. The other thing I didn't like is this brand new switch. It doesn't look so good. It's not very well put together. It looks like it's ready to come apart on its own, but that's what they sent me, so I'll use it. Hopefully it works. I thought the switch that I ordered was a little bit hokey. It just didn't look right. Didn't feel right. I put it in, got it all tightened down, went to do a test, and sure enough, it wouldn't. The wipers wouldn't shut off. Oh, come on. And yeah, like this whole thing, it seems like there's just too much, you gotta work too hard on this switch to make it shut off and turn it on. Like, because the knob is right at the end. It just doesn't want to go. It's not put together right. I paid $56 for this thing from Corvette Depot in Ontario. I was hoping I could get away with it and just use it as is, but yeah, that's the off position right now. And if you play with it a little bit, it will shut off, but as soon as you touch it, so it doesn't really have an off position. Yeah, what a piece of junk. So now I gotta fight with these guys. Try get another one. If it was like 10 or 15 bucks, I'd probably just say the hell with it and order one elsewhere. The stupid thing is this thing probably came from Eckler's out of Florida. I think Florida. So, you buy Canadian. We'll see what they're going to do for me. That's a bitter disappointment, though. Yeah, I'm not happy. I can't get this together tonight. I'll see what happens. Give them a call in the morning. So I'll see if they're going to cover shipping, because it's probably going to be 10, 15 bucks to send it back if I have to pay for it, and the replacement will probably be 10, 15 bucks to come back to me again. So what should be like a $20 switch is probably going to end up costing me well over $100 by the time this is done. What a stupid setup. Just junk. And that's yeah, for something that's probably like, I don't know, we paid $60 Canadian, so that's what, $5, $10 American. We get screwed here. This is not obviously the connector to the power window motor. What I'm thinking probably happened was the original connector started to corrode and probably became a little bit resistive. And once it became resistive, it started to heat up and it became more resistive. Eventually melted the connector, which is why they replaced a length of wire. I don't know how bad it could have gotten, but potentially with a resistive connection, it can heat up wiring without ever burning the fuse, blowing the fuse. So this was their fix. This part throws me off a little bit. They did a little extension here with a much lighter wire. Anyway, there's nothing wrong with using spade connectors as long as they're good quality, and these are good quality. But there's everything wrong with doing this. So I'll fix it. I'm on part 2 of my windshield wiper switch issue. This is the brand new switch. And when I installed it, the whole thing just doesn't look right. It looked really hokey. And of course when I installed it, if you press down, it activates the washer pump, and I get both stages, like fast and slow wipers, but it doesn't shut off. You have to play with the switch a little bit, and because I'm switching it at the very edge of this lever, it doesn't want to go easy. So I already knew that was going to be a problem. So I called the nice folks at Corvette Depot, and after some talking back and forth, it was decided that I don't have to send this back. They were just going to send me out another one. So this is the one. I'm hoping it's a little bit better. It's the same manufacturer. And right away it looks just as bad as that one. Yep, same difficult. Actually, it does go a little bit easier. So this one might be okay. This is not a great design. This one's crap too. It just refuses to. No. I think these screws are pushing against the case and warping it somehow. And I don't want to force it. It did slide once good, but now nothing. Oh. No, I got nothing. Oh, there it came. Oh, it's another hokey ass switch. I'm gonna leave it. Really, as long as I can get them to turn on if I get caught in rain. Because I'm not gonna get better than that. God, that sucks. Oh, frustrating. Alright, try this again. just to get started. There we go. Golly. Just had to take one last look at this wiper switch just to get my head around what's going on here. So now I know what's happening. This whole thing is ground, which is this contact right here. So when this gets pressed, it actually takes this and grounds out between here and here. And then when you slide this switch, it'll either put a ground from here to this pole. If you go a little further, it'll take a ground from this bar here to that pole. So really, the wires that come to this switch, if I ground this one, it'll activate the pump, the washer pump. So the one I just installed there, if it does start to screw up or if it's not going to work right, this part will continue to work. So I can still use that switch just to activate the washer pump. And if I absolutely have to, I can take a single pole double throw with the center off. So on, off, on switch, and just take the wires that go here, run it to a separate switch to run my wiper. So now I know at least